welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a fall reading list, and I figured to put a little spin on it. I know books can get kind of expensive, so I figured we could do this in a way that is super affordable, that everyone can do, and that's to go to the library. Books, I love buying books. I definitely prefer to buy books, but they can get very expensive very quickly, and I know finances are a prominent concern in the world right now, so I figured why not, let's just make this an affordable fall book haul / reading list, I guess. And I'm just gonna go to our local library. I just got here. It should be free to join your local library. For us, as long as we're in the county, it's free and you can check out however many books. And I think that's really great. It's good to keep our local libraries in business. So if you have a library near you, definitely go see what it is to be able to become a member, because it's definitely very, very useful. And especially if you want to get some cozy fall reading books and not spend a ton of money, it's a great alternative. So that's what we're going to do today. I just pulled in. I'm about to put on my mask and head in. I'm so excited to see what they have. So let's go. And I had to stop by Starbucks on my way home because books and coffee just naturally go together. But I did get my venti iced pumpkin spice latte with no whipped cream. They did not spell my name right, but it's okay. I appreciate the effort. So I went into the library really to find more of like the fall, Halloween, cozy, kind of creepy thriller books, and they had a ton. Mostly were murder mysteries, so I had to kind of filter through a bunch of those just because I didn't want every single book to be a murder mystery. So I tried to find ones that had like a more creepy, eerie vibe to it. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into the books. The very first one is actually one that I didn't get at the library. I actually found it a couple months ago. I bought the first one in Target and I absolutely loved it. It's called A Discovery of Witches, but this one is the second book, Shadow of Night. Let me go get the first book. Okay, so this is the one that I found back in like May. Not gonna lie, I wasn't really like in the mood for this book then. I read like the first little bit, but I picked it back up this month and I could not put it down. But it's A Discovery of Witches, so this is the first one. And they made a TV show out of it, so it's the cover for the TV show. It's just the one that was at Target. And then this is the second one called Shadow of Night. And they have a third one, and I think it's called The Book of Life, but it's such a good book. Oh my gosh, the trilogy is amazing. I just started the second one a couple days ago, and it's so good. There's time travel, there's conspiracy theories in it, there's tons of magic. It's all about vampires, witches, and demons. Basically, the storyline of the whole trilogy is there's this girl named Diana Bishop, and she is a witch. And she lost her parents whenever she was 7 years old. They were murdered, and she believes it was by witches, so she vowed right then and there to never use her magic. So she's in her 30s now, and she goes to Oxford to study alchemy. She's a historical alchemist, so she studies a lot of like the ancient alchemical manuscripts over in the Bodleian Library over in England. And one day she stumbles upon this certain manuscript called Ashmole 782 that's been missing for hundreds of years, and this whole like magic pulse, just a whole pulse of energy from this book gets sent out to like all the vampires, all the demons, and mostly to her, and it like burns her hand with like this little symbol, and every creature knew that she found it, and she was the only one to be able to unlock the spell that kept it hidden. And she ended up turning it back in, so it put the spell back on the book, and she has no idea how she unlocked it, how she found it. And there's a vampire, and his name is Matthew Clairmont, and he comes to her and he studies the DNA of vampires and just really tries to figure out where they came from. The manuscript is basically about how witches, vampires, and demons were all created and how they could be destroyed. So a lot of powerful groups of creatures want this book, and he basically has to protect her, but you figure out along the way that it goes so much deeper than just this manuscript, how it's really connected to Diana and how she got it, what really happened to her parents. There's so many different elements to it, and the whole story is so much deeper than what you initially think. Now on to the books that we got from the library. The first one that I found was The Last Weekend, and this is what the cover looks like. It's by Laura DeSilvero, and it says, let's see, every year for a decade, 5 college friends spend a weekend together at the atmospheric Chateau du King Noir. Totally butchered that. Then tragedy struck. 10 years later, Laurel Muir returns to the castle for the first time since the accident, hoping to reconnect with her friends and lay the past to rest. When a murderer attacks, it rips open old wounds and forces the women to admit there's a killer in their midst. Their remaining friends make a pact to unearth the truth, but suspicion, doubt, and old secrets threaten to tear them apart. Unsure who to trust, Laurel puts herself in harm's way, risking it all for friendship and long-delayed justice. So I thought this is such a cool book to read this time of the year. First of all, it's a murder mystery, and second of all, it takes place in a really old castle. Come on, like that's perfect for this time of the year. The next one is called The Ghosts of Harvard by Francesca Saratella. I'm so sorry if I butcher any of these names, but this is the cover, and it takes place in Harvard, obviously, but it's about this girl who goes to figure out why her brother who went to Harvard committed suicide, and she goes there and starts to really believe that he was murdered, and she's going on this long journey just to figure out what happened, and you find out that there's just a lot more in depth to just a suicide, and she actually starts hearing voices, and she thinks that she's crazy, but she ends up getting advice from like these 3 ghosts of people that had passed in the college before. So it's really cool, and it had ghosts in it, so I was like, yeah, let's do it. Next one is called The Last Dead Girl by Harry Dolan, and it's also kind of a murder mystery. So this guy, this new girl shows up and she has a bruise on her face, and he wants to ask her where it happened and why she has it, but he waits too long and she ends up brutally murdered, and he's like the prime suspect. So he goes along this journey of figuring out what actually happened to her and why that bruise was there and just about her whole past. The whole time that he's doing this and trying to figure out what actually happened to her, the killer's watching every move that he makes. It's so creepy, but I think this is going to be a really good murder mystery thriller combination for this time of the year, so I would definitely check it out. The last book that I picked up, I felt like I couldn't leave the library whenever I was on the hunt for like fall creepy thriller books without a Stephen King book. So I found If It Bleeds, and I saw Kaylin had this in her fall reading video, and the cover screams Halloween with the black cat and like the mouse right in the nose of it. I don't know, but it's basically, there's short stories in here, and they're all like short creepy stories. It's 4 short stories, so if you like to kind of switch up books and stories quite frequently, I feel like this would be really good because you like just have a variety of different stories to read through. And again, I think it screams Halloween, fall, and I feel like it's a perfect time of the year to read this book, so I'm definitely excited to read these little short stories. Alright you guys, so those were 5 of the books that I have on my reading list this year. I'm super excited to delve into them because I think they're all very creepy, cozy, but like thriller, mind-boggling books. I'm super excited to dive into them, and if you decide to check any of them out, let me know what you think, and if you have any book recommendations down below for this fall, leave it in the comments down below because I'm a bookworm and I'd love to know your suggestions. But thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you did enjoy the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!